Hey everybody, welcome to the Apex Podcast. Today we have a special guest on. We have Todd Penns. So Todd and I met about a year and a half ago.
Well, we knew each other before that.
So we officially started training together about a year and a half ago. So Todd's been working with me one-on-one as a personal training client. But we've known each other from church and just kind of like back and forth seeing each other.
In Kid City.
Yeah, there we go. Kid City. So Todd and I over the last year and a half have kind of generated a great relationship, friendship and business relationship. Todd's actually part owner in Apex. And we brought him on today because he owns several businesses and he's a high performer. And we just kind of wanted to get like a overview of his life and like how he handles it all. So Todd, if you can just give us like a brief overview of you. It doesn't have to just be based on your work, but like what, family a little bit, kids, wife.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on. So
I do.
Maybe just explain it a little bit and then we'll move from there with some questions.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's nice to be on. So Todd Penns, I've been married for 15 years. I have 4 kids. 2 boys, 2 girls, 12-year-old boy, 10-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old boy. So I do have a very chaotic household right now. I do own a couple businesses in town, mostly in the automotive sphere. So I own Subaru of Rochester, Buick GMC, Nissan of Rochester, and then the Chevrolet store in Spring Valley. We have about 170-ish employees. So,
what made you get into the car business?
Like everyone who's in the car business, you just fell right into it. I fell backwards into it.
And
I wasn't planning on getting into the car business. I was looking for a job and selling cars.
You sold cars first, right?
Yeah, in 2009.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
And that kind of led to going through that. It just led a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors.
So your dad's a business owner, right? He's an entrepreneur himself.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Why didn't you follow into his, because he did construction and real estate, why didn't you follow into his footsteps?
So I worked for his construction company in all the way middle school, high school, doing odds and ends. I didn't fall in love with it. I didn't have any interest no passion in doing it. I wanted to sell, but I didn't know I wanted to do that, but I just felt like it just wasn't for me.
So you're a salesman at heart.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, 100%.
And you sell cars.
That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What else about your, I guess, family life?
Yeah, I mean, I was born and raised in town. Live 5 minutes
from here. Yeah.
From here. Went to Northwestern College. I graduated from Mount High School. Went to Northwestern College for 4 years.
You met your wife at Northwestern, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She's from Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Cool.
So we started dating in college. She got married in 2008 and had our first kid in 2011.
What do you do for hobbies?
Work out.
Okay.
Work out with you.
So here's a question for you.
Take my kids to sports, be an Uber at night. And, take my kids to hockey, hang out with cool hockey parents in the parking lot. That's kind of right now.
So what made you start working out? Like what was the button that got pushed? Because I know I did a post, right, in February. And maybe I'll let you kind of explain the story a little bit more.
What got me to start working out in like 2011 when my brother and I trained for Muddy Warrior.
Yeah, and then you got hurt.
I was a college athlete.
Yeah.
What sports?
Soccer.
Okay.
So I played soccer all the way through my youth, all the way through high school, all the way into college. So I always had an athletic background.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's story, you stop for a minute.
Yep.
Didn't have a healthy relationship with. I just stopped working out. So what happens when you stop working out?
You get fat.
There you go. So I started training, doing P90X at home.
Yeah.
Doing Tough Mudder.
Okay.
And then that led me to start maybe going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got hurt. I had a lower back injury, so I stopped for a while.
And now the doctors told you that you can't squat and you can't.
In 2017, I had low back surgery, L5 S1, all credit to Mayo. They're awesome crew over there. But yeah, they told me to stay away from deadlifts, squats. Just don't do it at all. Stay away from it.
And how often do we squat?
The squat 2 or 3 times a week. No pain. No pain.
But you've also done things to care for yourself, right? So like you've done like you ice bath a couple times a week, right?
Yeah. So let's step back for a minute. So
okay.
With how I got hooked up with you working out, so we're in Florida visiting my parents, and I had like I don't know 100 plus notifications on my Facebook page. I thought I might as well check it. So when I went on there, I checked it. The first post I saw was you, I think, with your shirt off or something.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, asking. You had 1 or 2 clients available, right? I'm like, man, it'd be great to look like that Superman. So clicked on the link. You called me like 2 minutes later, and I knew you. I knew who you were. So there's already a comfortability level there with you. So you weren't random to me.
Now you told me.
So I was like, I'm into it. Let's go.
You told me you thought about canceling. That same like.
So I knew I needed. Yeah. So I go into a brand new gym and new people, and I can use myself at home because I was working out at home through that whole COVID deal.
You have a lot of nice equipment there.
I was working out at home, but I was just like, I need a little extra. I need that extra motivation and accountability, which I think we'll get to. But I need that extra push because it's easy when you work at home. It's like, oh, I'm just going to do it for 30 minutes, and you don't really know what you're doing. Or, am I doing the right movements, or am I? You always have that back of your mind. So,
so we actually started 2 days a week.
Yeah, I knew you in a gym. You look great, so I knew that you'd be that motivation, that X factor I needed to really propel myself.
And what we didn't realize is it was going to lead to us doing several other things together.
Yeah, so we started Wednesday, right?
Yeah, 2 days a week.
And it was actually.
And then you said it wasn't enough.
I dreaded it, and I actually had a blast.
Yeah.
And so I said, let's do 3 days a week. And we've been 3 days a week consistently for a year and a half.
But you also do other stuff on the side, right?
Yeah,
so
I
Tuesday, program for you, and you do other stuff.
That's one thing I love about it, too. My email, you send me stuff, not only Tuesday, Thursday, but on the weekends.
Yeah, so there's always more
So I
to
have
do.
over here and do it.
Yep, so we actually, we're doing a big competition next week, Midwest Championship. So you're a partner in that, and then your partner here. So I think it's kind of cool that like personal training thing evolved into not only a friendship but like a business relationship. So
yeah, we connected right away.
Right. So we got a lot in common, which I think is cool and why we connect. So I mean, we even have, we're both Christians, so we have that in common too, right?
Yep.
So we have the Lord in common. I think that's huge for how our relationship works and how we can kind of connect. And even with like our relationship and how we talk about our wives, right? We absolutely love our wives and our children. So that's all huge. All right, so we're gonna circle around and ask questions if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely. Good introduction, by the way. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll circle around and ask some questions, and then if you want to add anything specific, go ahead and add. We don't have to go totally on script. I prefer not to. It's more fun that way. So I'll have Tony kind of ask with the first question that we had kind of prepared, and then we'll roll.
What do you got, Tony?
All right, so basically the topic today is high performance and coaching. So I just want to get your definition of what you think high performance is and how does it relate to your professional and personal lives?
Yeah. High performers are goal-oriented. They have a vision board, a plan for them to not only attack the day, but attack the week, attack the months. They got their own mission, their vision statements, and they do certain things throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the month to make sure they attain their goals that they set for themselves. So those are high achievers.
Do you think it's nature or nurture? So were you born with those skills, or it's something that's developed gradually over time, or maybe it's both?
I wasn't born with it. It's definitely self-taught through the people you surround yourself with, through mentors, through books that you read. Yeah, I mean, you could be born with it. I wasn't. So was anyone else born with?
Can I ask you do you have a mission statement for yourself, like a personal one?
Yeah, it's to help others achieve their very best in life.
So you want to, like, I know you're a car salesman, but like and I've noticed this even with like our relationship, it's big for you to help people learn how to be better people, right? Like learn. So like even I know you offer to your employees, they can do the Dave Ramsey, what is it? Financial Peace University.
Yeah, we have that through our company. Yeah.
And why do you do that?
Managing money is unfortunately not taught very well, and having a healthy relationship with money. And a lot of our employees, wonderful people, this is their first job. So they need to have a healthy understanding of balancing a checkbook and learning what a 401k is and learning how to save for a rainy day.
And that's cool that you offer that for them, because it sounds like you actually care, right?
Yeah. So as there is, when you start making money, there's questions. So we want to provide those resources. If we're going to say we put our employees first, we might as well not just say it, but do our actions and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just knowing you personally, I know you care for people, and we should care, right?
Absolutely.
So helping them manage their money, and then like I'm sure your door is always open for them to ask questions about stuff.
At times.
Yeah. Well.
I have a great team too. So I have a wonderful HR department. I have wonderful managers that also share the same mission and vision that I have about helping people.
Does Penn's Automotive have a mission statement?
Yeah, it's to help people. It's to help you love what you drive.
Love what you drive. I've seen that in the commercials.
That's it.
So I have a vehicle that I bought from Penn's, and I love it.
Thank you.
I do love what I drive.
At the right price.
It was at the right price.
You were at the commercial too.
It was exactly the vehicle I asked for. So
yeah.
I appreciate that. So, okay. Do you have any more on that specific question, Tony?
Basically, besides that, really, what do you look for in someone you coach or something you try to embody yourself? That's basically tying into high performance, how you define it. So what characteristics do you look for in others?
They do they have that want, that desire to be better? Are they self-motivated? Are they accepting feedback? I don't say I'm gonna call you out, but I'm gonna call you up, right? Can you handle that?
Absolutely.
If you can, we're gonna be a good fit, because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Awesome.
And but I'm honest because I care. So.
Anything else on that one?
That's all you got?
Who are some of your favorite high-performing personalities and why?
You gotta say Goggins.
I gotta say Goggins, right? Jocko Willink.
Jocko, yeah.
Elon Musk. My dad. All those guys are risk takers. They're goal oriented. They don't take no for an answer, and they take personal responsibility for everything they do. And
How important would you say risk taking is in being a high performer or owning a business?
You got to be smart,
right?
But if you don't take risks,
there's no reward.
There it is. But you got to be smart with it,
right?
And you got to surround yourself with smart people to help you guide those risky decisions.
Yeah.
And get educated, because you know what you're doing. Open a book.
So education, right? You have a college degree. How important do you think a college degree is when you're hiring somebody? Like, is that important, or like, would you say self-education is maybe more important?
I think on-the-job training.
Okay.
Job experience.
Yeah.
College education tells me that they get a degree because they accomplished a certain amount of tasks that college or university gave them, and they completed it within a certain time, and they were accountable for those things, right? So that does show me that they showed up to class, they did homework, and
absolutely,
so there's part of that, right? But I also look at who they are as a human being, and their job history, and are they good people?
Yeah. So when I hire people, I don't necessarily look and see if they have a college degree. I mean, it's nice, but like, are they gonna work hard? And like, a college degree doesn't teach you how to work hard necessarily.
I've been around, salespeople that have their GED,
And
and
they do well, or
they do fantastic, and they make a lot of money, and they take care. They have great customer service skills, and they take care of a lot of our customers, and a lot of our customers love these individuals, and he has so it's all wide range of stuff.
Okay, so college degree doesn't necessarily make the person
No,
a high performer.
correct.
Okay. I mean, we've seen that, right? Because, like, we see people dropping out of college and then starting a massive computer company, right?
Yeah.
So, but, okay. Next question. How do you perceive the value of time in our modern, fast-paced world? So how do you perceive how time is valued? Because you have a family, so you have a family, multiple businesses, so your time is precious, right?
Mm-hmm. Time is currency.
Time is currency.
So I everything that I try to do throughout my day is it has a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and I try not to do time wasting things. There has to be
What do you define as a time wasting thing?
task switching.
What is that?
Going from one task to another, being distracted. So
Oh,
if you're
so
working on
multitasking.
something, right? If you're working on something, then you get a notification on your phone. You check your phone. That
Yeah.
leads you to scrolling. That leads you to... So one task at a time. But it better be accomplishing something that aligns with my mission and my vision and my goals that I want to set for that day and that week. And if I'm not doing that, then I get back on task. Microsoft Outlook is really good. Getting an assistant that helps you set your priorities.
So you just hired a new assistant, right? And you were telling me
Yeah.
yesterday how phenomenal she is.
She's great. She's great.
So-
Just you got disappointment, you got disappointment, you got disappointment. And even with my appointments, my meetings, I want to make sure they're meaningful and they're impactful. And I'm either setting up my family for success or I'm setting the business up for success. And if it doesn't align with those two things, that's kind of like it's not really worth my time.
So I heard this, and you can disagree with me if you want, but time itself is actually the most abundant of our resources.
Yeah, we don't. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, right?
Right, but we have a lot of time. We just need to choose how to use it correctly, right?
24 hours.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
But if I'm sitting there watching 5 hours of Netflix, is that a good use of my time?
Well, it's opportunity costs.
Right.
Right, and that's what you constantly weigh in. So if I do this thing, then it could hinder me from doing something else. And
So-
there's a lot of things out there that aren't productive.
Oh, for sure. So let's say they say they don't have enough time, right? They don't have time to work out. They don't have time to start their own business. They don't have time to do anything. What would you say to that person?
What time do you wake up in the morning?
Me?
I mean, no. Someone told me that. I don't have enough time in the day. My question: what time do you wake up in the morning? If it's 7, 8 o'clock, what time do you go to bed at night? Midnight.
And then what are you doing during that time?
Exactly.
Right.
So if you wake up at 11 a.m., have your day shot.
Right. Unless you work.
But you went to bed at 3 or 4, right?
Right.
But it just unless you work overnight, there's always.
How would you solve that problem then?
If you woke up.
No, let's just say you don't have enough time. Like, so I want to lose weight, right? Because I mean that's what we do here, right? We help people lose weight and become healthier. What would you say to somebody that says, "I don't have time to go to the gym"?
I don't have enough. I don't get that question very much. But
Okay. Let's just kind of reframe that. So
that'd be more a question for you guys. You guys spend a lot more time with clients than I do.
for
but
sure. But what I'm asking is, so
I get more of I can't get to work at 8. That's what I get.
I can't get to work at 8.
Yeah. Or they show up late at 8:30 and they say, "Well, it's hard for me to get here at 8:30."
But how do you solve that problem?
Is that your problem to solve too?
It's not necessarily his problem, but what I'm trying to get at something.
Okay.
So
All right.
Yeah, he's trying to get something with me.
Right. He's working something out.
He's
Got
working
it.
something out. All right, rephrase it.
okay, so you have an employee,
Yeah.
a team member, and they say they don't have enough time to do anything. So they work a normal. I don't know. What's your normal work schedule there? I know you guys probably work a little bit later.
8:30 to 5 to
Okay.
11 to 8, depending if you're in sales.
Okay.
You know,
So
stores open from 8:30 to 8 majority of the week. So
all right, so somebody just comes to you and they want, they're overweight, they need to lose weight, and they're like, Todd, I need to lose weight, but I just don't have time to get to the gym.
That's an excuse.
Exactly.
So you would have to take responsibility for your current situation.
You just said take responsibility.
Yeah. So they're blaming that I am unhealthy or overweight because I don't have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
Which if you really break down what they do throughout the day, there's time in there. We just got to find it.
Yeah.
So
would you help somebody? Like, how would you help somebody do that?
If they were open and wanted to sit down for 5 minutes, yeah, let's sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, maybe break their schedule
Let's
down.
get a piece of paper out and draw it out and figure out where because I guarantee you there's time in the day for you to get
There's
it
got to
out.
be 30 minutes, right?
There's got to be 30 minutes. You're not busy from 5 a.m. to
10
9
p.m.
or 10 p.m.
Right.
Every hour. You're not. So
Right.
Is there a time in your lunch break you can go to a gym? Can we get up early? Can we go to bed earlier? So there's always those times we can, but that is hard. What's
Yeah.
easy to do is just say I don't have enough time and just leave it at that.
But what's easy to do also can reflect later on in life, and that's where we have people, dying of heart disease, and because they chose the easy path in the beginning.
It's easy to go the easy path.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it makes it harder later on.
They don't see that though. They don't see the big picture.
Right,
Of the
because our
excuses they
culture is
laid out
very, very focused on instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we talked about time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that leads perfectly into opportunity costs, and I just want to see what your perspective is, because I've had a lot of clients who are along the mindset of, hey, you know what, I want to do this, but I'm low on money, so I'm going to try it out on my own. But as a result, they waste a bunch of time, they don't get the results they want, and then 5 years later, they're worse than where they are. So yeah, have they saved some money? Maybe, maybe not, but when you combine it into the time factor, which is opportunity cost, how do you account for those things? How would you systemize that for maximum success?
So the question is,
Like,
if someone is debating working out or making money.
No, I think that his question is.
I'm sorry, Tony.
Somebody wants to join, right?
Yeah.
But it's expensive, or I can join Planet Fitness for $10.
Yeah.
But you have to do Planet Fitness on your own.
Yeah.
Now he's saying, we think it's important to have a coach or a trainer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe in your industry, I come in, I try to buy a car, it's like, it's too expensive. I'm just gonna ride my bike and save some money.
Or even better on that, I'll just find one on my own on Marketplace.
There you go.
So okay, good. What comes to my mind is the value proposition.
Okay.
So we did not do a good enough job building the value of why you should buy the car from us, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have not landed you on the right car that you can afford, and ask enough questions and getting your budget to a number that you're comfortable with, and then doing our due diligence and picking out a car in the lot that fits your needs and your budget. So we didn't do our job.
Okay. What questions were you asked to gauge those?
So if someone says the car is too expensive,
So
I'd say besides the car, payment wise, what about the car? What features of the car do you like? Right? So they go over things, and maybe they don't need the moonroof. What things you didn't like? What things you liked? Right? So maybe I can eliminate some of the options to lower the payment. Pick out a different option. Pick a different car out.
Yeah.
So we just kind of go through those. But if you don't ask those questions in the beginning, you're setting yourself up for failure at the end.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So as far as your question about the gym aspect of it, so if someone says, well, your gym costs this much, but I can go to this gym for this much, right? The value part is missing, right? I can't afford this gym. Okay, well, let's talk about what you do for a living. Are you hourly? Are you salary? What's going on there? And having that deeper conversation of, we're just not a gym, but we're going to be partners in this. And we're going to go side by side and help you through all aspects of your health journey.
Right.
Not just getting you in the gym and never talking to you again.
So you work with me one-on-one, right? And
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
It's not $10 a month.
No.
How do you see the value in that over going by yourself?
It's you.
It's
I enjoy working out with you because you lay out a good plan. You're organized. You're there. I can count on you being there, and I can count on getting a really good workout. And I've seen results.
Results is huge, right? If you're
Yeah.
not seeing results, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has to do with it's not cheap, but there is the value outweighs the cost, and you set up a good organization and culture and environment. And I get to pick my own music when I work out. So
I mean, you could probably do it.
I mean, it comes to like 2 or 3 things, and the loudspeakers. So
Yeah. So value is, how would you, I guess, how would you describe value then? For anything.
wow, that's a tough question.
And maybe we can come back to that, but that was just kind of like a winged question anyways.
No, I mean, off the top, I mean, value is something that you perceive is something you have to have, and is something you need, and it fixes something in your life.
And that can go with basically anything, right? Like when I buy a car, value. What's the value of this car to me?
And what's the value of the experience over another store? You know,
right?
They do the small things that really matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've went and bought a car, and I had terrible experiences before. But you're the one. I'm gonna plug your business, but like it was.
Oh, please do.
It was what I liked, and I don't know if I was getting special treatment because I train you, but like I didn't have to sit there for hours, which I friggin' hate. Well, they're doing paperwork that probably they could have done without me there.
So a lot of our training that we communicate with our team members is put yourself in our guests' shoes. So we went around the table one day and we said, what are a couple things that we don't like with the car business as a customer's point of view? And a lot of it was waiting, not getting told what's happening next, random people. There's all these different things, right? And so we just wrote it on the board and tried to eliminate those. Now, we're not perfect.
Right.
Obviously.
And I mean,
so things pop up,
right?
But when things pop up, we don't get emotional about it.
Right.
We take it back to the training and we talk about it, and we try to fix it, because I'm really passionate about our customers enjoying their time and the experience and loving what they drive. But it starts with our salespeople and the experience, not only in person, but on the phone.
Yeah, the minute they
email kind of communications,
step
on
on
service
that lot.
drive, on the lot. It's, are we following through with what we're saying, and do we have a genuine care about you and your automotive needs? Like, do we generally care? And that is through just who we hire, and we preach that.
Yeah.
And it's just not it's a job, it's a career.
And you want everyone to follow your
It's their
values.
second biggest purchase of their life, most of them.
Yeah.
And we want to be a part of that journey, not just for one, but for the, you know.
And they're gonna buy more than one in their life.
Yeah, and like I said, I go back. A lot of car dealerships in town do a great job. Majority of them all. We just we're gonna do some things that aren't right, and so we go back and fix it, but we're gonna make it right. But majority of the time, that's what we try to put ourselves in our customers' shoes and try to eliminate the pinpoints. I think if you rank it, I think I saw this list on this. It's like buying a car was like one of the worst things people want to do. You know, it's like dentist, car, talking to a lawyer, you know, kind of those things, right?
I actually like going to the dentist.
And I'm like, man, the bar's so low.
Yeah.
We just say hi to them, shake their hand, and like thank them for coming along for an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of people don't do that. So, anyways,
Cool. Well, that's the question.
ask me an easy one. Softball.
Easy
Like, what's
one.
my favorite color? I'm just trying.
I don't think any of these are overly easy.
Well, what's your favorite color?
Orange.
Really?
Yeah, orange.
Carson's too.
Oh, geez.
As
Orange,
bright orange as it can be.
Blue.
Can you guys
black.
guess
It's kind of my
mine?
logo. Green and blue
Black.
is kind of good. I got a lot of I got a lot of colors.
Can you guess mine?
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's green.
Yours
Yeah,
is
green. See, I got green and blue in
I
my
love
logo.
green.
So
All right. Ask an actual
Sorry.
question.
Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked by colors. Can you give an example of a common time? Did we do that one?
No.
Okay. Can you give an example of common time-wasting habit or practice that many people may not recognize?
I think I alluded to it before. It's that task switching.
Yep.
So you're on a certain task, and you're working, diligent on a project for, school or a job, right? And then your phone's not on silent. Your phone's right next to you, right? And it dings, and then you stop doing that, and you focus on your phone. Then that leads to scrolling. And then that leads to maybe the Twitter or X, or that leads to other social media platforms. Yeah. And then 45 minutes to an hour later, you're on YouTube, and then the TV's on. So for me, I need to eliminate all the distractions, to eliminate time-wasting activities, and just get the project done.
Go ahead and ask the next one too.
In your experience, how does a coach help in reducing that time spent on ineffective strategies or practices?
So coach is only good if you are open to having a coach, and how open are you with that coach, right? So
and now we're not just talking about fitness coaches. We're talking about
accountability, business coaching,
yeah.
mentorship, personal development, health-wise, the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. But a coach can't help you if you're not honest with that coach, right? So if I tell the coach, hey, I have a problem focusing on something, or I'll tell my coach, hey, I got to focus on this, and he might call me an hour or two later and say, hey, were you ever on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter? Or and he'll ask me those pointed questions that keep me accountable and keep me in the straight and narrow.
How important would you say having a coach is?
A life coach? We're talking what type of coach?
Well, so like okay, well, let's start with that, with a life coach. Would you, or a business coach, right? Have you had any business mentors?
Yeah, 100%. Like my grandfather was one. My dad is one. I have a business mentor, a guy that lives in Arizona who calls me monthly.
How important is that, do you think, to your success? Or how important has it been?
It's really important because we don't have all the answers, right?
Correct.
So you want to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you in certain areas. So I hire too, right? Yeah. And so I respect the knowledge that my mentors or coaches have in these certain areas. Yep. But I'm very careful on who I decide to bring into my inner circle, if you will. I'm very careful with that. So I think us three went through an experience. Unfortunately, I didn't finish because of a concussion, but they talk about those 4 F-bombs, right? The faith, family, finances, fitness, right? So I try to surround myself with those 4 and get 4 coaches that kind of help me in those 4 things. So a business coach is really important because in business throughout the day and throughout the week, there's all these things that pop up between, cash management to, all sorts of things.
Yeah, hiring.
How do we invest our money? Fire. I got this situation with this employee. Walk me through it. I actually have 2 business coaches, actually. One in person and one on the phone. But the one in person is just call me when you need me, and then we'll call this individual. He'll come into the store and we'll lay out. He's like the company psychologist, but we'll lay out like 5-10 different things, and we're like, all right, walk us through. We'll spend 2-3 hours with him.
Yeah, and even people on like separate business domains, like you're a car business, I'm a gym. They're not the same, but like I think we've learned from each other. Yeah. Right, because there's still things that kind of move together in the business world. So we've provided value to each other in certain areas of business.
It's the employee concept. Car business and gym are different, but we still hire employees, and we still are dealing with the same good and bad. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's the same problem. So it's the same good things.
Right, so, but maybe you've experienced this problem and I haven't yet.
Correct, and we talk about hiring, and we talk about
employee issues,
and hey, did you ask this question when you hired this person, or all that stuff?
Yeah, I've told you some books that I've read, and you've said like the same thing, like, and I learned this from the book, and maybe it was like a big nugget. Yeah. I know you've said that before, so like, it's important for us to have, you would say, to have mentors and friends that are in the same realm that can help you move forward in life.
Yeah. And as we get older, the friends that we have in our life, what I'm looking for are friends that don't have to be a coach, but are honest and keep me accountable.
Yeah. That's just it. They keep you accountable, right? They're not afraid to tell you when you're wrong.
No, and I think that's the mark of a true friend.
Yeah.
And
that's
generally
really
interested in
hard
your
to do
success.
most of the time, right?
Yeah, and they're generally interested, and I'm generally interested in their success.
Yeah, you're interested in their wins and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the common time wasting, that's where we're at, that people may not recognize would be multitasking. However,
Some people
women can multitask.
No, they can't. That's just
Men
my.
can't.
That's my struggle. That's my struggle. There's some people in my company who are fantastic I don't know how they do it.
I can't do it either. I need to sit
get
and focus
super
on one
distracted.
thing. Yep.
And but my wife, she kills it to multitask.
She's a woman. They can
Yeah,
do it.
she's just, I got all this stuff going on. She does it with just, I'm amazed by her.
That's awesome. Do you have anything else to expand on that one?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. I think I actually talked about the next one. So,
Shout out to these energy
yeah,
drinks.
they're good.
Man, I can't get over the flavor of that. It is so good. I know we're recording.
No, you're
He
good.
might edit
We
this
can
out.
cut out whatever we
He might edit
want.
this out, but it is so good.
So, I do have a question.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
just
perk if you really want something
Yeah, I
good.
keep that away. Man. Sorry, David.
All right. In terms of personal growth, and so we're talking about coaching, right? Or hiring a coach. In terms of personal growth, how crucial is it to hire a coach? Do you need to hire one, or do you think you could do it all on your own?
No, we're not meant to do life alone.
Yeah. So like when you're, I've heard this before. Self-made, right? There's no such thing as self-made.
There's always people in your corner that
That have helped you,
have
right?
helped you along with your success. 100%. A coach plays a critical role in your success and to becoming a high performer, and keeping you accountable to calling you out when you need to be called out, calling you up when you need to be called up.
So value-wise,
Help you set goals, the whole thing.
What if I'm new and I knew like whatever, I'm young or maybe I'm not young, and I don't have the funds for a coach? What would you say to that?
You know, funds for a coach. Well, do you have a father? Do you have an uncle?
Mm-hmm.
Do you got someone older in your life that's wiser? Do you got a pastor? Like, can just sit down with you, and you have 2 ears and one mouth, and you listen to their wisdom and their life experience, and just asking questions and being inquisitive and being a student will also help you out as well. Not necessarily you have to pay for a coach.
Right. I mean, I've paid for lots of coaches
paid
over
for
the years.
coaches, but-
Yeah, and I don't. I mean,
But
some
when
of
I
them
got
are good, some
spiritual
of them are
issues,
bad.
I go to
You go to your
call a
pastor.
pastor.
Mm-hmm.
When I have different things that come up, I might call my dad, or and so he offers a lot of great advice as well. So
Yeah. And then, like you said, picking your friends is important. Like yesterday, as an example, I called you about something specific to help me, like just to talk me through it. So but I probably wouldn't call you for fitness advice, but
no, but that has happened. That has matured over a year and a half. Like, I don't think you would have called me
No,
a
I
year and a half
wouldn't have.
ago,
no.
right? Because there's a level of comfortability there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a level of trust there. That
So I don't-
what we talk about is not going to leak.
I didn't
outside.
pay for that advice, but like our friendship has it, and even when you're picking friends should produce value on both ends, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound redundant, but I got to say it again. Like, I'm generally interested and care about you as a human,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see you succeed in all aspects of life. And so when you got an issue, like, I may not have the answer, but I might know someone that. So I might tell you, oh, hold on, I'll call you back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or I went through it because I've been doing the same thing for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have all the answers, and I think you know that.
Right.
I'll tell you that straight up.
Mhm.
I don't have all the answers, but I might have people in my corner that do.
So if you can't afford a coach, I think the next best thing would maybe picking your friends wisely,
100%. Yeah.
and then they can help
Very,
you.
very- I don't care if you're 20 years old, 25, 15. I tell my son this. be very, very careful who you surround yourself with.
Yeah. Because you're going to be a
Because
product
they can either
of
lift
that.
you up or tear you down.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks I'm a little crazy, but no, it's I harp on that with my employees. Be very
Yeah.
careful who you surround yourself with.
Because you can use your friends as a mentor too.
Absolutely. If
Mom and
they
dad.
care about you.
Yeah. Business partners, people that you just see. So
Because you also have to be very careful on who you tell your goals to and
Yeah.
your mission, because they can also tear you down there too. So that's why it goes back to being very careful who you let in your circle. Because if I'm telling you, hey, I want to do this and this and this, you could be like, hey, you're crazy. And then I don't achieve that.
yeah.
I don't go after that because you told me I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So being very selective and careful is very key.
Yeah, so we're going off script a little bit, but
Of course.
I've had a lot of prospects who say along the lines of, you know what, I'm a brand new beginner. I know nothing. It's really not worth it for me to hire a coach right now. I'll just Google some stuff, and then when I get better, then I will come and ask for more help. How do you respond to those people?
Good luck. No.
Yeah.
You know what are you looking for Google to solve? What's going on? Have that empathy part. Like, how, instead of Google, how can I help you? What's going on? And really utilizing your 2 years in one mouth mentality, and let's let them talk,
Absolutely.
and taking notes, not being distracted by things, and being generally interested in caring for that individual.
So part of it goes back to the affordability part, right? They have interest in building themselves, but they're not ready, whether emotionally or financially, to make that commitment. So they want to try it by themselves first, see how it goes, and then hope for the best.
If they're not, if they can't pay for a coach, like we were talking about with David and I, who's in your circle of influence that can help you through your situation to make more money?
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
there's always someone out there that's willing to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who is that person, and then seek that person out. Is that person sitting in front of you in church? Is that person sitting in front of you? Is that a coworker? Or is that someone you can just ask questions to?
Absolutely. Thank you. Love that.
Yeah.
How do coaches provide expertise that is tailored to an individual's specific needs? I think we talked about that.
I'd say that everyone is different, right? And so a coach's job is to really put a plan together based on that person's habits and rituals and goals, and being someone who celebrates their wins and is with them side by side, and being their battle buddy, and really just understanding who that person is and what's going on, and someone that's with them through thick and thin. That just checks up on them, that calls them and just says, how you doing? You know, I'm thinking about you, I'm praying for you, what's going on, how can I help, what's going on? And they might be resistant for a minute, but after you ask them, after a while, they'll start trusting you and telling you what's going on. But you can also violate that trust too, so you have to be very careful with that.
We're on start wrapping things up here, but I think the last question that we'll go after: what is the most transformative coaching experience you've ever had?
The most transformative coaching I have had,
Mm-hmm. For you personally.
As this out. I don't know. This most transformative coaching I've ever had.
Yeah, so like for me personally, I've had coaches all along the way, and I think I can't like say one specifically, but like the accumulation of the ones that I've had has like defined who I am over time, and then also accumulating knowledge, right? So like transforming myself and then using those other people around in my life to like just make everything better and better. So
Yeah, there's not like I was thinking just like singular. There's plural, right? There's multiple people that I have asked certain things about certain, like my faith, my finances, right, my fitness, and so like when I have issues at work, I know who to go to, and I have multiple people for that one area, right? Which is, if I don't agree with that, maybe I can call someone else, right? And so like I was just talking to my dad a couple weeks ago, and we were going over when to really let my upper management really take the reins and step back, and how does that feel? How do you emotionally feel about that and all that stuff? And we were talking about that because he has a ton of experience.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to someone else about, hey, where do we invest our money in this? The interest rates are really high. Where do we do this? How do we pivot? How do I forecast situations in 6 months, right? And so it's just getting an accumulation of people, not just one person.
No.
But that takes time, right? That takes years, right?
And so you just said it takes time, right? We talked about time earlier. And also I think it takes dedication and commitment, right? So you have to, if you open a business and you expect it to flourish in a month, I think that you have the wrong idea, right? Because it could take years for that to produce what you want.
Yes, 100%.
So, like being
takes
committed,
patience and resilience.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, I think they quit too early. So
Because they might not have someone in their corner telling them to keep going.
yeah,
The answer to their problems might be right there in front of them, but they're so warped in what's going on with all the stuff they can't control that they miss what they can control, which is right in front of them.
yeah. And there's like instances, even like in our time together, where I've said I didn't want to, like Midwest Championship. I basically
Just told you to keep going.
And actually, I think it's next week. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
200 plus athletes, Male Civic Center, like
it would be awesome.
I'm
But
crazy
I
excited.
personally, I was stressed out and I wanted to just say we're done. And you were like, let's not do that. Let's do it. And we ended up sticking it out.
But go back to that. If you didn't have that person say, "Hey, keep going,"
I would have quit.
you might have quit,
No, I would have.
right?
Yeah.
Just like
So Todd was the person that kept you going?
your experience in California. If you didn't have those individuals around you when you're going through all that, it's
Yeah, I
easier.
mean, what's the point of doing it if you're there by yourself?
There you go, right? And so
Life's better with
back to your business analogy, when you're going through hard times, if you're not offloading some of your struggles to people that you trust and you're just handling it yourself, you're probably going to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
I could have thrown in the towel many times.
Yeah, exactly. Even with my stuff, there's several times that I thought about it.
Yeah.
But we're here now.
And I make sure I tell those people, like, there's humility there, right? Like, hey, you're way smarter than me and I have way more expertise in this. I'm going to just like unload on you on all these questions and I just want you to like listen to me. And then eventually just give me some expertise. And then eventually light bulb comes up. I mean, eventually you come up to the right answer.
Right.
You can like a month, a couple of days later, you're like, oh, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. The time, dedication.
And not acting on your emotions.
Yes. So, all right. We're going to end it at that. That was a good way to end. We appreciate you being here, Todd.
Yeah, thank you for
as
having me.
always.
Appreciate it.
And for those of you listening and watching, next week we're going to do another podcast. We're going to do this every time. If you like what you see, we ask that you hit the subscribe button and maybe you like and share it with other people so they can get some value out of what we're doing. But let's have an awesome week and let's be Apex.